Hi everyone, Papa Boris here, back with another run of Into the Breach. For the second run here in our hard series, I thought I'd play with one of my favorite squads in the game, the Hazardous Mechs. This squad has weapons that are above average in power, but with the drawback that they damage themselves. Here you're gonna damage the grid with this squad, you're probably gonna have some pilots die, and it's gonna be a great time. So to recap, we got our Leap Mech, who jumps to a tile, deals and pushes every adjacent tile. Very thematic, very flavorful, and also self-damages by 1. The Unstable Mech is kind of like the Riftwalker's Cannon Mech, only it does 2 damage instead of 1. It damages itself by 1, and it pushes itself back for more mayhem and damage. I love this squad so much, because with other squads, when you damage the grid, it's like, oh god, I feel bad, people died. But with this squad, when you damage the grid, it's like, hey, what are you gonna do about it? It's the Hazardous Mechs. And then we have the Nanomech. Now this one is not so much on theme, it's just a boring science mech that pushes and does acid, although I will say I'm generally not a super big fan of science weapons, but a push is about as good as you're gonna get, and the fact that it's acid is occasionally helpful as well. You can get some pretty big damage going once you've upgraded the damage of these mechs. Now, pilot, I feel like it's pretty mandatory to either have Abe for the damage reduction, so that one of your 2 self-damaging mechs doesn't hurt themselves as much, or Ariadne, or Ariadna, Rock Lady, who has 3 health. Now, probably the armor's a little bit better, but because I am saving him for a different squad that really needs him, we'll go with the Rock Lady for this squad. The 3 health and immunity to fire is sometimes better than being armored, just because you sometimes do land with your elite mech in a forest, and then you catch fire, and fire is devastatingly bad, so we'll put her on the Leap Mech as opposed to the Unstable Mech, although there's a case to be made for putting her in either one of the 2 self-damaging mechs. The other issue is the fact that if you play on Detritus Island, the one with all the acid, or if you just get acidified because an enemy that you acid blast with your Science Mech leaves an acid pool behind and you're forced to move into it, fire cancels armor, so Abe loses his armored ability if he gets acidified, whereas Ariadne does not. Oh, I forgot to mention, of course, this is very important. The Science Mech is also carrying this thing, which you can stick on any of the mechs. It causes mechs to heal damage when they deal a killing blow, and this also will bring them back from the dead. Okay, that's enough blabber dabber. Let's go ahead and start our run. Okay, let's take a look at our islands here. So we've got this Scion, which I just do not want to ever play against. This is the Scion that makes enemies explode when they die, so you can't kill enemies next to buildings. It's just a hard pass. The immune to fire Scion, great. The boss is the Starfish, great. Good candidate island. Just to take a look here. So we've got regeneration, which is fine maybe later, but up front can be tough. And then we also have this one. Haven't seen this one yet, the bonus health Scion. This just makes all the mechs, or sorry, all the enemies have 1 extra health. Great thing about that one is it can be retroactively canceled. Like, if you kill this Scion, every enemy loses a health, and then if that causes them to die, then they die. So you can kind of wait for the perfect moment and then strike. And of course, we're in the acid environment, which is very double-edged, playing as the Hazardous Mechs, because if you yourself get acidified, you do double damage to yourself, and that's devastating, but it also makes it easier to kill the enemies. There is that new mission that makes everybody acidified all the time. I feel like that would be very hard with this squad, so for that reason, let's go to this other island. We don't really care about the fire. Spider is always a little bit annoying, but it's fine. Let's go ahead and see what's going on. Okay, so a bit of a tough map here. You obviously don't want to go here. This is such a weak mission. Just 1 power grid, not even any stars. So looking at these other 2, defend the train. Defend the train! Man, this squad, you are just asking for it if you go for defend the train. And then we have don't kill the volatile Vac. Also a mission I've never liked. I don't like not killing things. Especially because this squad's only source of movement without damage is the nanomech, so it can be difficult to get the volatile Vec away from things without killing it. Alright, we're defending the train, and what's great about this is if it goes terribly, we just restart the run. Alright, so a bit of a tough map here. This nook right here can be absolutely devastating. Like, if the spider gets in here, it can be massive problems. So I'm almost tempted to bait the spider just because it's so close with its 4 jump range to all these squares that, like, avoiding it is one of those cases you have to be careful of sometimes. Sometimes in this game, like, the cure is worse than the disease. You put all your people, like, super far away from the spider, and then, like, they can't deal with any threats, you know? So it's tough. I guess with this mech having 4 movement natively and flying, I'm hoping everything's okay. And if a hornet flies in here, I should be able to shoot it out. Yeah, let's not get webbed. Let's stay flexible, and let's just see what the hell happens. Alright, so spider's going there. Okay. This hornet, they have a movement of 5? Seriously? Ugh, I forgot they had a movement of 5. Okay. Well. So, obviously, if we jump here with our elite mech, we can push the spider and the hornet, which is great. And then that solves all the problems because this hornet's wasting the attack. Main issue is that my other mechs don't have anything to really do in that case. If this thing had 4 movement and could go here, I could shoot this thing and back up into this and block a spawn. Sadly, I can't do that. I can't really use acid to make this jump a killing blow because if I use acid, it will also push, and so then it won't get targeted by the prime mech. It's just awkward all around. All right, let's shoot this hornet dead. And I think I really want to kill this spider, because the spider is just such a giant pain. The question is how, and then, oh, but I have to also deal with the hornet. Crud. Maybe I should have used this to shoot the spider and acid the spider, but then the jump still wouldn't have killed this hornet. Okay, well, here's what we're doing then. Let's jump here and not kill the spider. And there's no point acidifying the spider just because the spider, is it 2 health? Oh no, this thing actually only deals 1 damage. Yeah, so there is a point to acidifying the spider. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just push the spider up here just to kind of get it farther away from the train. The enemies that spawn here could get into these nooks in the train and cause major problems, so I want to minimize the odds. I guess they could get, like, behind the train over here in these mountains and cause problems. So I just want to reduce the chances of, like, really bad things happening. Okay. The hornet's actually in front of the train was a problem. This thing's a problem. Everything's a problem. Okay. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 issues. I guess what I'm going to do is kill this thing. Tragically, I push off of the spawning point. We'll just sort of jump here to push this hornet away from the train. And then, again, I am not killing the spider, but I'm just preventing grid damage. And now we're going to, again, have 4 enemies. I'm not exactly loving how this map has gone, but at the same time, if we get lucky one more time, then we're done, because this is only a 3-round mission. It's another spider spawn, which is very scary. Not loving that. The spider's in a tough spot. The hornet's in a tough spot. Alright, is my mech webbed? Okay, the train. That's a big deal. That is a very, very big deal. Okay, so this means my cannon mech is free to move. Main issue is I can jump here, kill both of these. Okay, I think the way we have to do it, let me just be very careful. Yeah, okay. So we need to shoot the spider dead with the cannon, because then the jumper can go here, and luckily this is a basic spider, not an alpha, so it dies. If it didn't die and it was standing here, it'd still be fighting the train. And then my flying science mech has just enough movement to push this thing away. This is a new enemy, by the way. It does 1 damage in front of it, and it pushes itself back. By the way, I'm sorry. My microphone is actually sitting far away from myself, so I apologize if the sound has been weird so far in this video. Now it's nearly in front of me. Okay, we defended the train, got 2 stars. Took no power grid damage. I'm a happy person. What's this? Prototype Renfield bombs. Not my favorite mission, but I don't like not killing the volatile Vac either, and I don't like only getting 1 power grid. So let's take a look at the map. Oh, of course, they're just like right in front. Why doesn't anybody put Prototype Renfield bombs in like the back? All right, whatever. We're doing it. I don't like the Vac mission, so we'll just see how this goes. I think... God, this is just awful. What I'm going to do is a little weird. I'm going to bait these spiders because they're both basic spiders. And the plan is that this beetle is probably going to target the bomb so I can just push it away with my science mech. If the spiders... Okay, well, the spider... Both spiders decided to go after the bombs. This is actually really great, though. It means that this thing is wasting its turn. Tragically, it goes after the spider, so like it would have killed it if it had gone first, but it's not. Interesting. All right. Well, we have a variety of options here. I could just jump here to block a spawn, honestly, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. It feels weird, but this way I can kill the spider with my science mech, make the beetle become acidified so the prime mech can kill it with one hit, and then we can just shoot the other spider dead. I think this is pretty good. This is a very good situation. Now we're gonna get a lot of spawns next round, but we only have 2 enemies. This thing, which is pretty weak, and we got a Scion. That's incredible. That's like the best thing that could have possibly happened. Scion's doing nothing. So we just want to block spawns basically. Okay, well, I could actually. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm actually just not even gonna bother killing this beetle. We are just going to block spawns. In fact, I'm not even gonna kill the Scion. I could easily kill it and block a spawn, but I want to block this top spawn so everyone else is boxed in. And if the Scion counts as an enemy, which I believe it does, it like reduces future spawns. Okay, the Hornets are both gonna fly away with their crazy movement of 5, which is annoying. Certainly. Oh, that's awkward. Oh, that's very awkward. I might have, you know what? I maybe should have killed this beetle when I had the chance. Now I'm really paying for my insolence. So, tragically, if I go here and I shoot this when it punches into the building, if I shoot the beetle, I fly backwards and do 1 damage to it. But that's not enough to do it. And if I shoot it up, it still does damage to the grid. Now, this one is wasting its attack. So, can my leap mech help? It can't. It actually can't, like, get to a place where it can jump here. Actually, if it jumped here, it still wouldn't be that great. If it jumped here, it wouldn't be that great. It would push the Scion into the Renfield bomb. Yeah, this jumper is not doing great, unfortunately, where he currently is located. I'd love to jump here to push this thing into the spawn, but then that would also destroy the bomb. Okay, well, sad as it is, I think it's a moment where we just have to admit defeat. So we're going to kill the beetle and damage the Hornet. Nothing I can do about this Hornet doing some grid damage. So what I'm going to do is I could shove this Renfield bomb out of the way, which accomplishes what? Nothing. Okay. I'm going to judge that I'm more concerned about a Hornet than I am about a random enemy, just because the Hornets have flight and they can fly far away and cause problems. Hopefully this isn't an alpha. Okay, it is an alpha, but it's an alpha beetle, so it's doing 3 damage instead of 1 and pushing itself back, but that's not really a big deal. Oh, and it chose to waste its attack. See how this is what I wasn't sure about. Like, will a fire immune enemy stand and fire? And this one chose not to. So his attack's wasted, Hornet's attack's wasted. So yeah, we're just getting experience at this point. I guess we'll do that. And, oh, that was a little bit of a misplay. Yeah, it was a misplay. So we'll reset the turn. I know it's annoying, but like you never know on hard difficulty when like every little bit of experience might matter. Oh, if I shoot the Hornet into the mountain, my science mech is standing there, and then it'll get bumped by this mech and die. Oh, interesting. No, but if I stand here, there. So I shoot that, kill it, then I fly here, shoot it into the mountain, and my prime mech unfortunately doesn't have anything to do. So that is that. Okay, all in all, I'm fine with it. That was a tough set of missions, difficult map, and I only took 1 grid damage. It's not the end of the world. So now we open up 2 new missions. This is the tough one. Oh no. Destroying mountains, killing enemies, no thanks. Now, I'll take a look at the map, just in case it's some, like, incredibly advantageous map. This is actually a decent map. All the buildings are kind of up in this plane. But these things could easily be spiders and hornets. This island has these really mobile enemies. They could easily just, like, jump in here and start causing all kinds of havoc. So unless this mission is terrible... not killing enemies. Good lord. So the Earth Mover is not my favorite mission. It just basically slowly fills in these gaps, and we need to be not killing stuff. It's not exactly what the squad is good at. Oh man, you know what? Let's just go for it. I keep saying I don't like not killing things, so let's take the mission where we have to kill things. Now, the good news is we got these beetles. They do have 3 health, but the plus side is that they're just not that impressive as far as enemies go. They just attack in front of them and they fall backwards a bit, and that's often advantageous. I think it's very important to put a mech here because the hornets have a movement of 5. This prevents the hornet from like going to this spot. So now the hornet can go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in either case it's wasting its attack. It could still go to this spot, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, but it is second, so it's possible that this beetle will, or bouncer, I guess is what it's called, will take away one of these spaces from it. Anyway, let's not overanalyze this too much. So let's get our people out. Actually, the science mech flies. Let's make it more centralized. And see what everyone does. So it is important to kill things, and we do want things to spawn, but we also, of course, don't want to like lose the entire grid. I'll be okay with losing 2 grid damage as long as it means that I've satisfied the mission. So the hornet wastes its attack. This beetle wastes its attack. It's a good thing that beetle didn't go here. It would have been pretty awkward if it had. So really, this beetle's fantastic. It's going to block a spawn for me. This one is the one who's a problem. I need to find a way to kill this one, and that's actually, it's actually hard to do. It's really difficult to figure out how to deal with this thing. I can't jump here, that damages the building. Can't jump here, it pushes into the building. That's hazardous mech life for you. Okay, so the main thing I would have liked to do is maybe push this beetle, sad as that is, so that the cannon mech can like shoot this thing after it's gotten acidified. Or am I just overthinking it? Wait, why don't I just shoot it and then push this beetle? Yeah, that's what I gotta do. It's, you know what's sad is, if I shoot it, it's going to take 2 damage, go here, and it's ready to block a spawn, but then if I push this big one, it's going to go there, and it's going to push back into it, and the spawn won't get blocked. Now, that might not be the end of the world, just because, you know, this is the kill enemies mission. Is there something better I can do, or I can somehow finagle it? No, because it really needs to be the science mech that pushes this beetle, unless I want to damage the building. Okay, so we're going to just stay where we are. Shoot, push back, fly in here, do that. So at least it's acidified. That might matter in the future. And the prime mech. Well, I could block a spawn, but I kind of want enemies to be out here. So we're going to take this move. It's nice. The hornet damages this thing, and then this thing damages the hornet. This leaves us with a lot of stuff that's got 1 health. So we're going to have 5 enemies. But this one's acidified. These 2 are going to have 1 health. And this one's far away from the action. So there's a chance. Okay, that's a scion. That's perfect. It's basically irrelevant. This hornet chooses to fly and waste its attack. The beetle's not wasting its attack. That's a little scary. We also have to kill some mountains at some point, so I got to be careful about that. Okay, well, obvious move is shoot this beetle. Ah, here's the problem. I'd like to jump here with my leap mech, kill this hornet, and kill the mountain. The problem is my science mech is 1 movement shy of being able to push this beetle out of harm's way, because it can push up but not down. However, the prime mech can't push down either, because jumping here would damage the building, and this mech can't do anything about it either. So yeah, that's what's going to have to happen. I think we're taking a grid damage. Well, no, I could jump here and kill it. Then I don't get this juicy jump which destroys both mountains and kills 2 enemies. So the question is it worth it to preserve 1 grid damage? Like, if I end up making the mission later, I'll be glad I did that. But otherwise, I'm going to be sad that I did that. Tough one. Very tough one. Okay, I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to do the greed bag move. We're going to try to get everything. So, I'm going to do this so that the scion dies. We'll do this so we get our pod, and so that beetle dies. Blocking a spawn. Do I want to do this? Killed 3, gonna kill 4. I need to kill 3 enemies in 2 turns. Oh yeah, like I need to kill 3 enemies in 2 turns. I've got 2 enemies out already. So, yes, I'll be able to kill 3 because there's 1 more round of spawns. One thing I'm actually a little bit concerned about is the mountains at this point. So, let's see here. These hornets are both wasting their attacks, which is great. I am actually more concerned about the mountains than I am about these hornets. Because I gotta destroy 2 mountains, and that's one of those things that can really creep up on you. Tragically, these mountains are not cracked. I could, like, do some weird move, like stand here and shoot them out. No, then that would just kill me. Okay, so let's, yeah, I wish I could shoot this hornet into this building. All right, let's kill this hornet. And I am actually going to let this hornet survive with 2 health. I really want to get a mountain while I've got the chance. And then you could block an enemy or make this hornet acidified. Basically, I think I have to do this. It stinks, but I think that acidifying the hornet's not worth as much as blocking a whole entire enemy from spawning. Now I need to kill 2 enemies and break a mountain. This is a tall order. I might as well take some grid damage here. Okay, this could be very fortunate for me. Is this fortunate? Could it be? Oh my god, the fact that this thing doesn't have a mountain that it can destroy is just heartbreaking. Because I could have jumped right here. I killed the spider. If I'm standing here with the flyer mech... Oh, in repair, then the hornet dies. Oh, but the beetle gets pushed back here. Whoa. Oh my god, I think this actually works. There's other options, though. I could shoot this thing there. It'll kill the spider for me. That's 6 enemies, and I protect the grid. But how do I kill the last enemy? I could shoot the beetle into the hornet to get the last kill, and then use this to blow up a mountain. All right, I'm gonna do the cool move that I think works. It's here, here, and then I'll reset my turn if it doesn't work, and then. Yeah, I think this actually works. I'm going to actually damage my own mech. I'm going to jump here, damaging literally every single entity on the board. All 6 entities are going to get damaged from this move. Bam. And then I'm going to go... Oh, that's the problem! That's the problem if I go here and shoot this mountain, and then the beetle will kill the mountain, but I bounce back and I damage the grid. Aha, that's the problem. And then you cannot, in any way whatsoever... damage and destroy a mountain. Okay, so we're gonna have to do the other option, which is just to shoot the hornet here, shoot that beetle there, and use the prime mech to destroy the mountain. We just check the attack order up 1, then 2, so the spider dies. Thank God it wasn't an alpha. Thank God the hornet survives this with 1 HP. I mean, this is down to the wire. Down to the wire here. If this were unfair difficulty, something would have had to give, and I wouldn't have been able to make the mission. Alright, we barely snuck it through, and we got greedy. I saved that bit of grid damage, and now we have an extra power grid. Was it the correct play? Probably not, but we got everything. The 2 stars, the lightning bolt, and a time pod. What do we got? Ooh, a lucky again! Another pod with just a weapon. This happened last time. I didn't comment on this, but even if the weapon is one that you're not going to use, it's still lucky because you still sell it for a star at the end. So, really happy about that. Okay, so we have an interesting situation. I could do this +1 damage each, but I think that's a little bit too frisky. You really want to have the health in addition to the damage each to survive it. Honestly, I'd want to have like Ariadne with their 3 extra health get this. And I think I will, actually. I think we'll do this to bump that damage up. And then you, I think, are just going to move more because an extra move on this mech. I think we've already seen it, how important that can be. Okay, what's this mission? Destroy Vac Ag Sacs. Fine. I really don't like this mission with the not killing enemies. Don't like this with not killing the Vac. I think destroying the Ag Sacs will be easier. Alright, now the Sandstorm's a new mission. Basically, sand blows in here and cancels the attacks of anything that's standing there. So here, I think very, very important to put mechs in these spots. Actually, probably this one, because it doesn't jump, is the one that should be there. So that the spider can't jump here and the spider can't jump here. And then my flying mech, I mean, it can do whatever. I don't know what it's going to do. So we got the 2 spiders. They both have only 1 hit point. The Scion is basically completely irrelevant. Pretty happy with how things are going here. A lot of different options. So this is irrelevant because the sand happens first, so this is actually not a problem. One thing you have to be careful of is you actually can't jump here. As fun as that would be to jump here to push the sign or to kill the sign on the spider, it would also damage this tile because the attack is self-damaging, and then that would create a hole, an area, and it would fall through and die, which would be really funny. Okay, I think we're just gonna keep it real simple. Let's just jump here. Killed both Vexacs. Well, alright, so this does kill both Xax and the spider, but then what's this mech doing? Nothing. This mech can be useful. It can jump here, kill the Scion, and block a spawn. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Because my flyer can step right in there and save this building from being damaged, and then you can just shoot this and destroy the two Xacs. So, it's a bit weird to still have the spider in play, which it wouldn't have been had I jumped there, but I'm going to judge that a 1 health spider is not as big of a deal as an extra spawning enemy. God, we have 3 spiders. This actually, if everything gets webbed, this just could be a scary thing. Okay, the spider's attacking the building, that's good. This spider's going to get canceled, which is good. That spider's getting a building, which is good. And this hornet's, you know, if the hornet had attacked one of these buildings, it actually would have been kind of a problem to deal with, I think, everything. But because it chose to go here and waste its attack, I'm in much better shape. This is a cracked tile, so I still can't jump there to kill the spider, unfortunately. I also can't attack because I'm in smoke. Now, the spider's not going to kill me because this is also going to get smoked. Okay. So, I think, just to keep it simple, we kill the spider here, and we just, you know, do this to kill that spider. And you can't do anything, but you're not gonna die, so it's fine. Oh, I forgot that this attack was still happening. That could have been an argument for doing things differently. Interesting. Okay, the spider is going there. The hornet's up there. A little scary. A little bit scary. Okay, so we have a few different options here. I think the simplest... Well, there's 2 wood that are equally simple, but let's just do this one. Kill them both, and then you need to step out of the smoke and jump up here. It's a little close on the health front, but it does heal up. Oh, and then you don't even need to do anything, so we had an extra move that time. Alright, very happy with that. This mission is nice. It can be frustrating when you get smoked, but the enemies often stand in the smoke and get canceled. I probably got a bit lucky with that 1 hornet move, though, but all in all, I'm glad I picked it. I think the others had just as much or more opportunity for being bad missions. Okay, so we got the Starfish leader. I forget what this one does. What's the deal? So Starfish normally attack oh yes. So the Starfish attack diagonally, and so does the leader. The difference between the leader and the Starfish is that the leader Starfish also pushes the orthogonally adjacent tiles. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of a block out. Notice the spider has a movement of 4, so we'll prevent it from blocking to these 2 squares. Although we could just jump to that square. Do I really care about it jumping to these 2 squares? Eh. Sure, we'll do it. I could be wrong. Now this beetle, I don't want it to have something to do. Right now it's got a movement of 3, so it can't do anything. If I put a mech there, it will definitely walk up here, but I'd rather it hang back. Because sometimes when the enemies don't have an attack to make, they won't use their full movement to get as close as they can to the buildings. They'll just, like, seemingly at random, just wander around and not necessarily do anything useful. Like, see, here it went. Well, I guess that is closer to these buildings. Okay, so we've got a little bit of an issue with this Starfish. Because with these 2 buildings adjacent to each other, it's always going to be hitting one. I have to push it twice to get it out of harm's way. And it's difficult to do that. I'd have to basically acid and shoot it down over here, which I guess isn't bad. It is 4 damage, and it's got acid. Oh, hold up. I can't deal with the spider because I'd have to jump here, which would kill my own guy. All right, reset turn on the first move of the mission. Woo! I'm good at this game. Okay, so we need to do it like this, where you jump here, and then for the acid, it needs to be all the way cozy up in here. The fact that this mech starts with 4 movement is very significant. I always like that when the when you're playing a squad and like the mech has like some kind of special thing, like either an extra movement or some extra health or something. It's always a little bit of fun. Got this useless Scion, great. Hornet, great. No more spiders. I feel good about that. Leader wastes its turn. I feel great about that. This is gonna be hard to get rid of. This is gonna be difficult to get rid of right here, because my cannon mech is out of position to get underneath it. So it pretty much has to be the science mech. Can I afford that? The answer is yes, I believe I can. So we're going to just push it away. We're going to jump in the same spot, which with the extra damage kills the Hornet. And you could kill the Scion, but I absolutely do not care about that Scion more than I care about blocking a spawn. And of course, if I come here and shot it, it would have pushed me away from it. So that's why it's not something I could do both. I either had to block or kill that Scion. Alpha Spider, always a little bit scary. Beetle chooses to waste its turn despite having plenty of different things to go after. You're going to go for the building? You are, right. That's very good that it's going after the building, because that makes it a lot easier to deal with. Right, well, I could kill it with either one of my mechs. So which one? Does it matter which one? I could push the Scion here. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. This could be wrong, but I'm gonna kill the spider that way. And I am going to just block that spot. And then do this. So what's going to happen is that the Beetle does nothing. The Scion is itself not immune to fire. It just grants immunity to fire to the other monsters. So it'll take the fire damage and then get bumped and die. And this is great. So we just have to deal with this Beetle. And this Beetle who's wasting his turn. Terrific. Okay, now this Beetle's actually a little tricky, because my jumper has no way of jumping to it. Oh no, it's acidified, so it'll kill it. Okay, okay. 3 grid defense. Whoopity-doopity-doo. Okay, some things never change, I guess. Well, anyway, let's take advantage of my extra damage and the fact that he's acidified to kill it. And let's acidify this one, and then kill it with the extra Mac. Alright, got everybody. Really happy with that. Alright, it's shopping time. 3 grid def. The infamous. Alright, what do we got here? Fire a beam that freezes everything in a line. Well, this certainly fits the bill of do something you can't normally do. Because it gives this mech a way to actually deal with an enemy where a push wouldn't help. This is a good pilot. Certainly nothing wrong with this pilot. Flying is very powerful. Like putting it in the brute, because obviously one of my 2 damage pilots has to be the Rock Lady, but the other one having flying is actually pretty significant. I'm going to judge that it's not as significant as being able to freeze everything. There's also a pilot ability called Conservative, which is one of my favorites and a pretty popular one in general. And what that does is it makes it so that your limited use weapons have an extra use. So I might be able to get that and then be able to use that thing twice. It'd be worth like essentially 2 power cores. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to switch my pilots around. The reason for that is that this generic pilot has 8 experience while this other one has a level up and 9 experience on the way to the next level. And I value this one leveling up to 1 more than I value this one leveling up to 2. Because this one is 41 experience away from level 2, whereas this one's only 17 experience away from level 1. Or, well, okay, this one's 41 experience away from level 3, whereas this one is 17 experience away from level 1. And I want to get it as soon as possible, just maybe on the off chance that I get Conservative. And then you can use your extra mech reactor to power up that Frost Beam. Now, let's spend Reputation. What are the weapons? Pierce through killed enemies. Well, what this does that's different is it doesn't push and it doesn't self-damage. And with just 1 power core, it can do 4 damage. That's great. The problem is it's only 1 use per battle and you can't increase that. So unless you already have a pilot with Conservative, this is a bit limiting. This is the fire version of the science one that I found. Okay, long story short, What I got right now is 3 reactor cores, and then I can sell this for a star. However, I don't have the other star I would need to buy this weapon. I would need to sell, let's say, this pilot, who is generic, and then I'd put this pilot back on the other mech. Do I think this is worth selling a pilot for? The problem is it's just 1 use per battle. And what I find often is the case with 1 use per battle things is it's like, if you need it 1 time, you're probably going to need it multiple times. And if you're doing well, you won't need it at all. So it might be the correct play to buy this, but I would really like to hold out hope for a cannon weapon that, like, does something different from what my current cannon weapon does, and doesn't do self-damage, and focus on that, as opposed to this one-time use thing that might kill things, or it might not. Could be wrong. I'm curious what you think. And by the way, you don't want to sell this, because if I sell this now, I'm forced to spend the star buying a power grid, but I don't actually want to do that. So I'll just leave things the way they are. We'll basically sell this, keep this as like a star in reserve. Okay, so where do we need the power cores? I think one place is the bonus health here and the bonus damage here. So this now does 3 damage. And then the last power core, I could give +1 move to this mech, because it really does need it. I could also, well, I can't get it right now. +1 heal is actually nice as well. I could go for this for some extra security. Right now, I'm dealing 2 damage to myself every time I attack, and most battles are 4 rounds, so that's means I'm at -2 health. I need 3 kills, basically, in order to stay afloat. And that's an argument in favor of putting this here. I don't know what's the correct move. We'll give this mech the extra move. That might be wrong. I guess we'll find out in the next island. Now I'm going to take a break here. I'm going to do a little cut because I got to get to work. But I'll be back from your perspective in just a second.